think I was running early again. Yes, I am.
So I don't know, all of that smoke we were getting from the wildfires up in Canada, I heard it's pretty bad over on the East Coast now. So
That's
they
what
were
they're
saying, and I think even our air quality at one point was like the second worst in the world, right? So they were saying New York is second only behind New Delhi, India. Isn't that kind of crazy?
Wow.
Yeah, like an apocalypse.
That was about 3 weeks ago, I think it was bad here.
Yeah.
It was the weekend of the Colfax Marathon.
That's right. And I ran the half.
Okay,
That day we were worried about running in.
yeah, I didn't notice it at all.
No, I think it cleared.
Because it was the Friday, it was bad, but
Yeah,
by
that's
Sunday,
right. Sunday.
it was bad.
Did you run it or?
Well, I did a relay.
You did this.
Because our office did a relay, so I did the same.
Cool.
Yeah, last weekend I had a longer race, I didn't want to do a big one then. So I'm like, fine, I'll just do it.
For the 614. Roast.
But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Let me see.
Yeah,
It always is.
yeah.
I think I did the marathon back in 2010 and or something like that. I'm like, that's enough of that. It's. I like it on trails better.
Yeah. I just found Brandon lives up in Leadville, you know, a coworker of mine's gonna do the Leadville 100.
wow.
So maybe I'll start with the 10K up there, my way up.
Gotta work your way up to that.
Even for 20 miles, I think that's the wear and tear.
Yeah.
Well, last weekend I did 20, well, it was supposed to be 21, but it ended up being 23, but yeah, that's a little bit of wear and tear.
Yeah.
But it's fun, it's all in the mountains.
Yeah,
Right.
Although that one was in Idaho, but still, it's in the mountains.
That one was a night.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
So,
There's another one from the level that people are crazy about, the Hard Rock, or what's the one in the Silverton 100?
oh, yeah,
That's another crazy.
that's a crazy one.
Right.
Well, the one in Idaho Scout Mountain, it also has a 100 with it too, but I'm like, no, I got better things to do than 100.
Yeah, 22 is good enough.
Exactly, I can deal with that, but done 50K, that's about the limit.
Yeah, after 50, and then think about the difference between, what's 50K, 30 something?
31.
31, okay.
Yeah, that's about the limit. It's like after that, what's the thing?
yeah, right, exactly.
I know other people would disagree with me on that, but that's
30 miles would take you, what is that like a 12-hour race? Is that a 6-hour race? I know it's all.
it was 7 to 8 for me.
7 to 8.
Yeah, some people obviously are faster and slower,
Right.
but yeah, it's 7 to 8.
The 100 it's
100 or more than 24 hours.
I think it's like 19, you're running for 19, 20 hours.
There's one more than that.
Yeah, there's definitely.
The ones on Scout Mountain, I think the fastest was like 23 hours.
Really?
Most of them were about 28 to 30.
But like, you know?
I guess. I don't know. I didn't research it that much.
The items.
So that's not.
Oh, okay, okay, is that the barn?
That's the barn.
That is funny because I forgot about it and then didn't find it. Okay, perfect, thanks.
And then there's another one, but I don't know what the property is. I don't know whose it is.
Oh, shed over here.
The one in the
Or
parking lot?
behind the, no, behind the other church.
Oh, the one by the blue house?
Yeah.
Oh, it's, I think the blue house is.
I don't know if it's blue house or the vacant lot behind it or the church. I can't really tell. But it's getting pretty bad.
Okay. Where's the on Fourth? I have it on 4th Street. I haven't looked over that way in a while.
It hasn't had a roof on it a year.
Oh, really? That's good.
That's funny.
Is that the
I
shed?
think so.
Because that was listed with their listing for the house, and they had it for sale.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And there's that house. This is part of the listing. I assume it's part of the house.
Yeah,
Looks like that roof.
it looks like it does have, but it doesn't.
That was, yeah, 2020.
It did then.
That's 2020's most recent event. And 2020, we had a
Yep. And there's a book out of it, yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it's
Well, it's part of the
probably won't
listing.
be there too much longer.
Yeah, well, it's part of the listing, so I assume it's part of the property.
Oh, my gosh.
So you have the address, what's the address?
Uh,
I should put it on that list,
House.
to track.
404. Trying to install that, but.
Yes.
There's something down and figure out that, figure out.
What do you say, 404?
404.
404. What?
Taos?
No.
Okay.
Is this one historic?
I don't think so.
Okay,
That one's over, by the way.
no, that's a Leavenworth,
Is it?
Huh?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know on that one.
because it's on the historic trail.
It's kind of like one of those construction ones you can put up and down.
Yeah, I don't know on that one.
Because that's way up there.
Cindy would know.
Yeah, that's one, because it's definitely old. Yeah, it's way up there. I don't know anything about it, so I kind of want to ask her to find out, what is it? Bet there were nobody goes. Yeah. Yeah. This is fixed before it gets on the list, so that it doesn't have to be brought up to code. Because if that has to be brought up to code, it's not running.
Yep.
So that's one I think somebody should, I fix it. I think I'm
Now it's back in the courthouse, right?
It's on into Third Street. Third to Spring,
Third to spring, okay, yeah.
is it's basically right there, if you're looking for Spring.
Yeah.
If you're looking other direction, there's Spring. Which I think it should be fixed before it becomes an issue. Because if that gets brought up to code, Spring, it's gonna be fine. So. So I kind of don't know this because I found it. I don't know if I'll be responsible if it's that either.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
We were. Streets and roads on it.
Out of town or something? I don't know, let's give them a minute, because it's. I know Cindy is. Let's see, nobody, Jen usually calls me and she's worried about it being a forum, so. I don't think it is.
People scared of the thunder?
I know, all my dogs were all piled up on top, it's like, no. Bring my phone. Yeah. Bob Hamilton?
I don't have any numbers, so I can't.
Yeah, let's try Bob. So I know Sue's not here, then. Let's see if we can on that, but Mark said we could be here in 10 minutes if we needed it, so.
We might.
Bob's on the way.
Yeah, that's.
All right, well, I have a number that says.
that's-
Yeah, that was good. Starting to get back to.
Hey, Bob, this is Susan Edge. I'm doing okay. I was over at DRC wondering if you're gonna make it tonight.
That one, you get it right.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that one in a long time.
I know, I've noticed
Oh.
it, but I haven't looked at it closely.
Yeah.
Notice that.
Yeah, it sounds like you're in another meeting now.
But Bruce, something I won't worry about.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
And Wallace.
Okay, can you give
He
me-
forgot it was today.
I pulled up. and it was
Just-
ours.
I know, me too.
I guess I have walked over here more than once and it's the wrong week. Have you got Mark?
Let me see. Reynolds,
Yeah.
well, so we won't need him though. Because Bob said he's gonna come.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay, well, never mind then. Bob's coming.
Just hang up on him when you have.
No, years ago, I wouldn't have to wait for these people to come.
Unfortunately, so.
Just this communication. Oh, well, I can't start the meeting without a quorum,
Yeah.
so you just call it off.
That's your problem.
Gotta have four.
So we've got 3 advisories,
We could do this back, no, we can't go.
can't do anything.
If you wanna start, you can discuss.
There's not any conceptual.
There's preliminary.
Conceptual, you could
Oh,
start.
it's a couple blocks away.
Yeah. If it's ready to go.
614 Rose Street.
Don't we have to approve that?
Well, we have an advisory for it.
Okay. I don't know the procedures for that.
I think she's here for 614 Rose,
Yeah,
right? She's here for
Is that
that.
the Mercantile Building? Yes.
Oh.
Sometimes numbers in my head, I just.
Yeah.
We used to go call all the buildings, have a name or somebody's house or something, so I was going 614. Okay. Yeah, it will just be a few minutes, folks, sorry.
Thunder.
I didn't know Cindy was still out.
Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't look too hard. Well. Anybody got a good story for today? What did you do before it rained today?
It was late today.
Yeah, it was.
We got a
It was
cold
a good
day.
one. It was a good one. This was running down. I figured Betsy would be in here going, it's running down the street. It runs really heavy down in front of Vivian's house, you know, across the street.
Right?
That's how I can tell kind of how much water we've had, because it goes all the way up to that window. Well.
Oh, wow.
Like Carrie's old house.
Oh, wow.
You're right.
It covers
Grass must be happy.
covers the sidewalk. I never saw it, it's like.
Mhm.
My garden's yellow.
I know,
It's,
you know, all my herbs are just sitting there like, they're
Yeah.
like too wet and not enough sun.
mhm.
I may have to start over.
Grass is happy, but garden's yellow.
Yeah.
This is only 0.03 inches. That's not bad.
Well, in 5 minutes though. So.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
know, and at least it was heavy.
Close to my house.
Got home with heavy traffic book and it was hammered.
I think it was 0.1 by the way, so. A little bit more down that one.
Yeah.
Let's see, 31 strikes, not bad. Quite a bit of lightning in there. I would have been more, but. Yeah, I don't know. There's been some where it's been like 100 strikes or more. So 30 strikes in less than an hour is a lot.
Looks like there's some pretty good water damage right there.
A little bit. I don't know if it's still active.
I think it's pretty old.
Yeah.
It's like the building.
I think you were on this a while back.
Yeah, that's before they fixed the
It's
bell
been,
tower.
it's been,
Okay.
yeah.
I think these stains are from the bell tower too before
Okay.
they fixed it.
So they're gonna send us all these procedures now, because of that little chart thing.
Yeah, so much paperwork now.
Hopefully you know all the procedures, Jen.
Yeah. We've got to do that one here. So Kathy, what are you growing in your greenhouse? What you gonna grow in your greenhouse, veggies and flowers?
Seeds, flowers, yeah, not part of, short season.
Okay, greenhouse helps a lot, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah, in the winter it's nice. No, we'll have fun with it, we'll get to go.
I did the same thing this morning, I actually about 11 o'clock realized I was today. because I was thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna be gone for the DRC next week now.
Yeah, I thought it was next week myself. No, I was thinking this next one, travel to your time, your guests.
Well, me too, like I said, we would have had both comments, so it's better. Okay, so let's call the meeting to order, and would you please take the roll?
So Joe Neaton.
Here.
Sean Platt. Here. Sydney Neely. Betsy Blakesley. Mark Reynolds. Bob Hamilton.
Sure.
Frank Ganzer.
Okay, and can I get approval of the agenda? And we can,
Make motion to approve the agenda.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, is everybody that's here on the agenda tonight?
What's that?
Oh, well, okay, that's fine. All right, so zoning variance recommendations for Kathy Hoonan, 806 Griffin. Kathy, why don't you pull that chair up and just kind of,
Oh, I'm been sitting down so long.
okay.
I can't pull it up.
Come on up. This is our hard. Okay.
What's the issue?
Okay, so actually we are to write an advisory to the Board of Adjustments for the
Okay.
variance for the greenhouse. And so you started, and since it was full up under 100 square feet and you didn't need a permit, you didn't think you needed to see us, was that correct?
No, that we turned in the sketch. And then Rick told me that DRC can't do anything until you get the variance. I'm surprised, I don't know why I'm here, but I've been told that several times, that that's the process.
Okay, so you.
I'm,
I got you, okay. So what we do is because we can't approve it until you have a variance.
Right.
But also they can't approve a variance if it would be something that we didn't approve. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I've been here 35 years.
So you know. So what we do is make an advisory
Okay.
to the Board of Adjustments,
And
whether
what's
we
that
have
gonna
any
be?
problem with you building it, not the design or anything.
Uh-huh.
So we will need to see the design.
I've already sent it to the DRC.
Well, we can't look at that until this is done,
Okay,
So
so you need to do a new sketch.
until the variance
Okay.
is
All
done.
right.
So that's
I'll
all
tell
we're
you on
doing.
the variance, here's a big problem with that. I've been told by the county, and I was sent a list of 100 names, that I was supposed to handwrite on the notes and pay 63 cents to stamp everyone. Well, that ain't gonna happen. And so I talked to an attorney, and the attorney went through the list, and there was only 35 names on that list that weren't duplicates. So I'm pretty sure that nobody else has been asked to write envelopes off of this list. And I'm just wondering why I'm being asked. And now we found out the town ought to do something about it. They sent me a list with over 100 names on it, only 35 of them are the original names and addresses.
Maybe they just wanted you to do the appropriate ones on it, I don't.
No, we told me to do all of them. Yeah, okay. It's a big problem, and I don't appreciate being treated like that.
I'm sorry that happened. Okay, so I see that you've got your only flat spot with light, with sunlight. Where you wanted to build, correct? This.
Yes, there
Uh-huh. And this is on the east, this is the front of your house.
that's looking. This is looking, to the north. Okay. This. One of the south, and this is the south here.
Yeah.
And the offset was a foot more than we put on the original sketch. Then we had a foot more than what we thought we had, this is property line. So this is south, this is Tim McDonough, and this is the sheriff here. Yeah. Neither one of them have a 5-foot offset.
Okay, well, and that's, we don't know about variances and stuff in there either. Okay, so
I'm sorry.
I see where this is. And does anybody have an opinion? Basically, our recommendations are visual impacts, impacts on historic resources or other. And
no objections.
It looks like it's right on the corner in the front, right on River Street.
yeah,
No, it's in the back.
It's on the very back of the wall, you cannot see it from the street, sorry.
It's in the
the
back.
house is not there, but it's in the back. So the border, Tim's house is here.
Although the sketch shows it on the street, but that's not where the.
So it's on the other end.
You see, the sketch has Griffith Street right on the street, but you're saying it's back here.
Let's see. Where's
Because here's
Griffith Street? No, it's back here.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not right there, it's the opposite.
The diagram is wrong.
The diagram.
Yes. So
It's way back
The
there.
back, the opposite.
The exact opposite.
Oh, okay.
That's not, you can't even be able to see it from the street.
I think what Bob's saying, if it was right there, it's on the street.
Somebody destroyed.
Somebody just run into it.
Steal it, Georgia the plants, I mean, because there's no fence, it's totally open there.
Right.
But where we're putting it is totally not open.
Right.
It's very discreet and.
Okay, and
Yeah, see, it's boring looking.
it's,
Yes,
10 feet high
right
to here.
Yeah, I saw
there. Okay.
It's
10 feet high.
Okay, it's a very point,
Right.
so that's not very.
No, 12 feet long. And the variance is only for 8 feet on the south and 12 feet on the east. It's not the whole, it's not the whole thing. It's just 8 feet on the south and 12 feet on the sheriff's side. And
Okay.
thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
So if we're looking at it there, it's in this back corner behind the tree.
Behind the tree and behind the well.
Cool.
You couldn't even see it, but it'd be right there, you wouldn't be able to see it.
No big deal.
It will match the 620.
So you're not pouring a concrete foundation.
Oh, no.
It's not just
Behind all that.
the way you're doing the bricks in the.
Oh, no, that's just, you do it right. That's no.
But it's not a
Oh, we
concrete.
got stock on the foundation, but
Yeah, well, just
No
to get our ducks in a row here.
I don't even have concrete steps on the 1850s house.
Captain,
Yes, sir.
is the metal pieces, are they painted white or is it
It's all.
natural aluminum?
Mhm.
So it's all,
Yeah,
Right.
the yellow house. I think,
Yeah.
is-
It's on the sketch, all the materials.
It's 10 feet.
Very common. It lists all the materials.
The yellow house. That house.
There.
What it does.
And here.
yeah,
Okay, so, do you have any,
I mean, I don't mean, we have a thing against, natural aluminum. But it's gonna be in the back, I don't think you're gonna see it.
is that,
No.
oh, is it gonna be reflective?
If it's reflective, but we're not dealing with that today.
That's what it is.
It's brushed.
If it's brushed, then that's not, but we're not dealing with that today.
It was a very expensive greenhouse. We're not talking about a shy piece of equipment. So, I won't be able to use it probably till next fall. I appreciate your time. I certainly want to get through all this.
So ultimately, we'll do review it, the issue of it being reflected, so it's the brushed aluminum.
Yeah.
Brush line is not good reflective.
No, it's gonna be-
Polish it. Then.
Right.
Yeah, brush is a dull,
$1,000 greenhouse.
brush is a dull color.
Okay,
It's, great.
Yeah,
It's not a shy piece of.
exactly.
okay, so let's,
Polish it and then not be good, but brush is good.
let's get down to our business then here. We have our findings for the Board of Adjustments Advisory matter. And first is visual impact. And number 2 is impacts on historic resources.
And,
Okay. And then other.
no,
It's a nice addition to the community.
I think so.
Thank you.
See a greenhouse.
Thank you.
So our recommendation for approval, conditional approval or denial.
I would recommend that we approve it.
Okay.
First positive I had in 6 months.
So been that long?
So it's been a long
Wow.
Yeah, first I had a thing for you all, and then I came back and I was going to do variance, and then I got really intimidated because the variance packet had all this stuff about lawyers and subdivisions and. I'm a PhD, but I'll just put it down, it can be over.
It covers every possible scenario.
And Greg said, don't worry about it, all that time I was waiting to, what I was gonna do about it.
So Bob, can we call that a motion?
I would move that we, recommend approval of the,
There.
Should we note that it's actually at the back of the property, not at the front, like this?
yeah, we
That-
put that as a note.
I'll make it
Clarify
up.
that. That our recommendation to the, Board of Adjustment is that, we have to wear the green.
Variance be approved.
Variance.
Okay, and comments,
Thank you.
note.
Can I hug you?
It's been so painful.
Two good things today.
All right.
Sorry, I'm just like, I like that a lot.
Okay, that's all we need.
All right.
Give a second.
A second.
I appreciate the time and just.
All in favor?
I come to tea at my greenhouse about. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And next, preliminary review. Right. Steven and Sarah.
Steve, and
Steve, okay, okay, you want to pull the chair on?
Sure. And then, Brendan Muller has been joining me as well.
Okay,
Okay,
so if you'll state your name and address of the property and then describe your.
sure. My name's Stephen Mahan. The property of the address is vacant land, lots 24 and 25 on block 52 in Georgetown. It's in the multifamily residential district.
On Griffith Street.
Yep. So in between 12th and 11th on Griffith.
Right.
So, yeah, correct. So we're here to talk about a preliminary review. We'd like to build a single family residential house. We came in, I think about 3-4 weeks ago. For the first build, we definitely got some lessons learned, so we're back. So we kind of took your advice, went back to the drawing board, and we have some updated preliminary plans that we'd like to discuss with you today.
Okay, so we are just doing a preliminary.
Correct. And I think we'll come back for the major project review, based on your guidance that we received here today.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you have the site plan in front of you, maybe we could start there. So we have our lots 24 and 25. The new structure is 40 feet wide. Our property is about 62 feet, a little bit more than that. So I think the setbacks on either side will work. We'll have about 11 plus, on the neighbor side, and then the side with 12th Street, which is undeveloped at this time. From the property line off of Griffith, we have it set back about 22 feet. The depth of the property or the depth of the structure is about 45 feet. We're also looking for, preliminary approval on adding a deck in the back, about a 12-foot deck off of the back. And then the first floor would be level with Griffith Street. So, there's a little bit of, I guess, what would you say, like variability in terms of the slope going down to Towel Street from quite a bit there. Yeah, and we're gonna put a basement that will help, bring the foundation back. But I do remember the first time around, we were trying to propose the A-frame and the walls, came right down, right? So this is more of a traditional, style house, with walls and a gabled roof. There's some character associated with the roof, with some of the dormers and all of that. So
from Griffith, it looks like a 1-story, from the back, it'll look like a 2-story.
correct, you got it, yeah. Yep. So I think the height of the property or of the structure would be about 25 feet high.
To the peak.
Correct, to the peak. So I think it's within the 35 foot.
No, that's no problem.
Okay, all right. In terms of, we were gonna leverage kind of the same look and feel, some, maybe like a darker wood siding associated with it, with, just windows with some black trim on it, a black metal roof potentially. We've included.
Reflectance is the thing.
Yeah,
So it doesn't
correct.
have
No reflection and all of that. So,
although the guidelines do say earth tones, I think black could kind of earth tones.
It's kind of more of a gray, isn't it?
yeah, more of a gray. Yeah,
That's an earth tone.
yeah. So,
Gray in the earth.
I think this was great.
So was the garage on the back of the apron?
originally, yes, yeah, and we didn't, and it was gonna be a challenge for us, to try to get down and turn around. So I think the garage being right off of Griffith is much more practical for us, actually.
Well, this also doesn't require the 12th Street.
You got it, right? So that was another condition too. We were originally debating whether or not we could build half of 12th Street, and the ruling that we got back based on some of the consultant feedback would, no, if you wanted to build it, you would have to build all of it. And that's just not in our budget right now. So,
Is the garage door even with the front door?
it's a, yeah, so if you actually, it's a little,
Step back.
yeah,
Is it
so
slightly back?
it's a little, yeah, so it's actually, so. if you take a look,
Okay,
so-
there you go.
Yeah, so here's the garage, and the porch and is a little bit further, so it's actually a little bit set back from the porch.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think our guidelines, don't they say the front door?
Yeah, we would really
So-
prefer the garage to not be your most prominent
Right,
feature.
so it
There's
was-
probably some little tweaks. Basically, we don't want the garage to be on the front of the house, and that's just not doable.
Yeah,
For-
right.
I know, it's-
But
and so I was just looking at the roof line, if it's possible to bring the roof line that's over the garage out.
Just to put in a little more shadow.
Or, yeah, just to make it look like it's.
or switch it, so the front door is past the garage rather than the garage being past the front door
okay,
towards the street.
okay. I think that's something we could probably take a
So
look
it's
at.
just all
Because I do know, like the porch and everything, where you actually have, I think, what are these, more of the pillars
Right.
in the front will actually be in front of the garage.
Right,
Yes.
but I think our guidelines are based on the wall, the door.
Okay.
The front door.
Okay,
So if you move the front door, just.
yeah,
Just ahead of the
yeah, and
garage.
I think that's something we could definitely do is potentially just shift,
Yeah.
and that's not a
It's
big
not
deal.
much looking
Yeah,
at that. It wouldn't
yeah,
be-
yeah.
It's
Okay.
always the goal to make the front door the prominent.
Yeah, right,
Not the
and I think
garage.
that was another takeaway from the feedback that we got last time was, the door wasn't prominent, because, it was more in the
Right.
back, because we were putting the garage in the back,
So
so.
that would have been perfect.
Yeah, yeah, you got it.
Like, looking at the picture, because the gable roof over the door, the front door and the living room, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That gives the effect of prominence.
Yeah.
So having the garage set back with the shed roof.
Making.
It,
Yes,
it de-emphasizes the garage.
Yeah.
So I think, looking at the picture, the major map and looking at your floor diagram here, you may just want to bring it out.
Yeah.
Bump that out, give you, yeah, garage is.
Oh, I didn't get a
there.
no, I didn't get the
Bring that
full
out
one, that's why. I
even
couldn't-
more.
Yeah.
Give you more space.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the porch really helps.
Oh, yeah, the porch definitely helps. So I think this is a really good fit for people a lot.
Great.
The windows are really nice proportion,
Yeah.
like the taller windows with the divided lights. We're paying attention.
Yeah, no, I love
And
it.
the line is divided up,
Yeah.
so it's not just one big.
That's right.
Um,
We've noticed it too, there are a couple houses right across the street, new construction too, that have a similar look and feel as well.
So some of the stuff to pay attention to is the pitch of the roof, because I think, what is it, 6 or 7 to 12 is our minimum for the main roof?
6 to 8.
Pitch 12. So look at the guidelines, it's either 6 or 7.
Okay.
I don't have it open.
Well, we can definitely.
But pay attention to the roof pit,
Yeah, the
front door
window-
prominence, no concrete driveway.
Correct.
And all the trim looks nice, but we'll want nice
Yeah,
hefty trim,
Correct.
on your windows and
Yeah.
stuff.
Excuse me, did I hear no concrete?
No concrete.
No concrete about it.
There's some in town that shouldn't have been there, but
But there's lots of nice.
yeah. Door heights are 7. If you want a door that
Yeah.
looks tall, then you need a transom above it.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's where they got shown here, so that,
Oh, it's in the back now.
Oh, you're looking in the back and up there.
Are those bigger?
It might be,
yeah, those could be 8 footers.
That's.
Make sure they're 7 foot. Okay.
because that's a traditional size. You can do transoms.
Oh,
above it if
on
you
the
want more
sports
volume.
shoes.
Actually, 7 foot's expensive.
Are they?
I think it's cheaper.
So your deck
Cheaper
would
to
be
6 to
big
8 or.
for the average house.
The private. where-
In the
where-
picture, yeah, but with the slope of the property, it might be a little bit higher. We are gonna put a basement, as a foundation.
Bigger than you walk out?
I don't think so, no.
Marshall, everything's custom.
Right now, the plan is no.
We talked about foundation.
No, the deck. Or you,
Oh, we were talking about the basement.
Oh, the
Yeah,
basement.
the foundation and stuff, whether
Where's the deck gonna go?
in the site plan here, so we have Griffith in the front with the driveway.
Right,
The deck would just be off the back of the property.
the lower level?
Yes, lower level.
Oh, okay.
just a wood
Wood
deck.
deck, yeah,
Yeah,
wood deck,
that's no
maybe,
problem.
maybe some, maybe a Trex composite type of wood.
Mhm.
Yeah,
No problem.
Nice.
Just pay attention to lot coverage, but I don't think they're close to that.
yeah,
It's,
no,
that would be covered. I mean, that's not enclosed.
Doesn't have a roof on it, so it's not.
okay, it's good to know.
Good point. Yeah, it's just covered, but
Yeah,
good point.
Yeah, okay. This looks
unless you're
nice.
going to the county, then it counts as square footage.
No, I think you're.
I
Right on.
Double garage.
didn't know that.
That's how we begin.
Could be either way.
What's that?
The double garage door.
It doesn't bother
A
me.
lot of double garage doors.
Yeah, if it's gonna be a pretty.
If it's set back and it's not prominent, it's not just a plain white metal door.
Right. Yeah, okay. So were you thinking this type of a garage door? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So just not that flat metal.
No, no,
Okay.
yeah. We definitely want to make it look nice, so
We don't favor the black, white.
I don't either.
It doesn't feel far for, trying to make that garage.
If it's possible to split it up into 2 doors, that would be better, but.
Okay, I know just based on like the,
Footage,
yeah, and the setbacks on each side, we don't have a lot
Right.
more, so to
Right.
work with there, so. And I don't even know if we're gonna be able to get 2 cars into that garage, so, but
Okay.
we'll see.
Okay.
Not if you have any stuff to put.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so.
It looks good.
We don't do a motion on a preliminary, just,
No.
let's,
Reflected notes that the preliminary design is reflected in the right direction.
we can definitely work with this.
Yeah.
And then middle guard windows and doors, what's that?
We were asked, like, I think a part of the preliminary review to just put some exterior materials and a list
Right.
together of what we're
The
planning
milk
on.
car, you're using like a fiberglass?
Yeah.
I'm assuming,
Right.
It's the supplier.
Yeah.
yes, that's a.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And those are acceptable.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
One more question, what was the requirement for the gable, or we can't do anything less than 612?
it's.
You have to look at the guy, I think it's 6 or 7.
Yeah, I don't have my book.
Give me a minute, I'll pull.
I know 612, I think to.
I'm thinking it's 612.
612.
I think it's 8.
It might be, but I
Maybe
don't
they-
remember.
maybe it is.
612, you can see.
Well, 12 clubs.
I gotta see it's all right. Well,
Yeah.
Although some of those.
Yeah.
Big word, 12 is pretty.
Yeah.
812 is like, I know 412 is pretty shallow.
Yeah.
And you guys.
More than 412 for sure.
More than
Yeah.
412.
The shed roof is 4 to 12, but looks like 7.
Most primary roofs have 9 to 12, although some as low as 7 to 12, so I guess 7 to 12.
7 to 9.
So 612 is unacceptable. Is that right?
We
I don't think it would be,
Uh,
but it's pretty.
we probably
look at it.
We can look at it.
I just think that's what the photo represents is.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, it's 612.
Yeah.
612.
Oh, okay.
And we'll fix that for engineering based off your requirements, but we'd like to know,
Yeah, what's that means, 7 or above,
7 or above is definite, 6 to 12 is
you
probably.
know, the shed roof.
It says as low as 4 to 12 for good.
a 612 metal roof's gonna shed snow and water.
Yeah, well, the main thing is we just don't want it to look flat.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
6 to 12 is probably would be fine.
Sounds good. So we'll take a look at the guidelines, well, maybe 7 or above,
These
7 or
are.
above would be
yeah,
perfect.
perfect,
6 to 12 if it doesn't look flat.
yeah.
This over the porch looks a little flatter than the one over the upstairs window, so there's probably different.
Yeah, I think there are,
Which is nice.
Yeah, it kind of- yeah.
Gives it a character.
gives a character.
No, I like
No
that.
concrete driveway, the garage setback to make the front door more prominent, 7-foot doors in the back. Those were the notes that I've taken so far.
And you could have a transom.
6-8 would be more than.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 6'8"
Yeah,
is
6'8", yeah.
standard.
Is there a footage requirement on that differential between the front door and the garage? I know we want to we're doing it for aesthetic and.
It's aesthetics.
Okay, so like, give or take 4 feet would be what sufficed for that?
Oh, even a foot.
Okay,
Right,
all right,
the
just-
variance of a
okay.
foot.
Are you talking about making the front door?
And,
Yeah, just put in right door, right here with the driveway, and usually probably doing this back to where that is, and then switch the front door. Yeah, just doing the exact switch, you got it, yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a number, it's just a aesthetic thing.
Okay, all right.
Whatever looks right.
Okay, great.
All right,
So conditionally, we're headed in the right direction, we did good with some of the feedback you provided last time. Okay.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Okay.
and it's not an A-frame.
Yeah, it's not- it's not-
Which is a lot like that too.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
That's okay.
Thank you. Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so now we have another advisory matter for planning commission. And this is in the historic commercial district, and do you want to come up and share? Sorry. And so, Darla, you're gonna be. Would you state your name, please, or something? Building.
Hi, Darla, Walls, and in 614 Road 3. Birchtown.
Okay, and you're thinking of having a boutique hotel there?
Yes.
Okay.
We're not planning on changing much of the structure outside, the look, the appearance. We're trying to kind of keep it same, and then we even have one of the old signs, or we're gonna call it the St. James Hotel, and we have an old sign that fits in the sign. It says bar, hotel, bar, dress, and whatever. And then create two other ones the same, and then, yeah,
So I
so
don't think that square marquee thing is original, is it? That sign that's on there.
Cindy always likes to know when they're contributing, this is contributing.
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't find many like old photos of it before that marquee was on there. So,
I didn't think it used to have it, but I've got a door in my house that came from there.
and what's that?
It's one of the French stores.
Is this that
And they were really cheap.
Is that the building?
No, I
No.
don't think so, no. It was the St. James Bar and Grill, and I'm thinking it had just a two-sided.
I was gonna say, did it put something like that up there that stuck out, maybe?
Yeah, it was something like that.
I think that's that building.
Christine,
Just look,
probably.
if you go there, it's there. Oh, yeah.
This is historic.
Okay.
It's an office.
Look at it, yeah. I think that's that building.
They're about
Um,
half the time.
I think so.
The doors, so windows are the same.
The doors are different, but the windows and the brackets up there.
Well, they all have that. Are they showing you that picture for that address? Oh, there it was.
Well, there's the original, oh, yeah,
It looks
there's.
like that sign, actually.
Yeah.
Was this the sign you had?
Yes.
Okay, well, that is.
So that's-
looks a little older. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then if you go. That one looks like the same building, just with different
Yeah,
doors.
it's probably just before the.
Before that sign was put up.
Yeah.
The doors in the middle are.
The doors in the middle, but all the windows and everything else is the same. I think that's that building. Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
What's that?
Probably the way.
yeah, that's not, but it's probably could have been changed over.
Well, the building next door is gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah, the one next door was a saloon at one time, it says, in the 1900 map.
Every other one along there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was showing us two offices, so it could have had a double entry.
Oh, okay.
1900.
Okay, that's true, because it was kind of divided in the middle. Okay, so what we have is a recommendation regarding conformity and compatibility with the applicable design review guidelines. So you know, anything exterior on the building that you want to change, you'll be right back here. You can't do anything without us.
Well, even like paint colors and we'll see like.
No,
Oh,
You go,
Paint purple, whatever you want.
go.
Paint me up here.
We care, we kids.
Oh. Gotta do on that, but, is, if you're gonna do any kind of a little addition or change, especially windows, doors.
Right.
Any of the appearance.
Any of the external appearance.
Yeah.
We're not really saying that.
Okay, so it's in the commercial district already, it's been used as historically, and it has been kind of a B&B or something before, you know, it had a apartment upstairs, so I thought they used to live up there, but then they were renting later. So I don't see that that's a conflict with anything.
No, I think we could just state that, you know, since there are no changes to the exterior of the building, we would not, you know, we don't see any conflict.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going back to the original use,
Yeah, actually, it's going back to an earlier time period,
maybe not the original, but an early.
earlier, yeah.
Maybe original. But yes, I don't see.
So that, then we view that as a positive.
Yeah,
That's right.
Anti-seven Store Hotel.
where's the trash located now?
So there is no trash there now, but we are gonna put a dumpster, or to call the trash, behind the shed. So it on this plans, I think it's number 6.
Yeah, I've got it here.
Yeah. Yep, it's like right off the alley right there. So they should be able to access
So
that.
we would like it enclosed
Okay,
if possible.
okay, like all enclosed.
Well, on the
a-
sides.
A little three-sided.
That would look
Yeah, if you're gonna
better.
do it-
Yeah, that would probably look better.
If you're
Yeah,
gonna do it to the shed, yeah, you'd only need 3 sides.
yeah, that's fine. That's no problem.
Okay, so.
1886, it was still a hotel, so as far back as I can go, it was a hotel. We're going back to the original use.
Well, I just don't feel, it's not in the residential area, so I don't feel like it's really.
Hmm.
All right,
I guess the only other comment or caution is that parking
Mhm.
I was just gonna ask about.
would be an issue, I think. that
It is,
resolved.
and I would need to lease 3 to 4 spaces from a neighbor. So like, so I need to figure out who is the closest and then just go from there to see if they will actually allow me to lease the parking overnight.
what's his name, or?
Pagano?
Pagano owns the building on the corner, the gallery, well, the two galleries. And that lot behind it, I'm pretty sure. You know, Gary's and the Stonehenge place.
Marv will do that.
Oh, it could be right about that.
Yeah, Marv does. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure, I know that she
so-
used to pay for rent.
Okay, so we can, if you need help finding out who.
But the one next to it, the
Buckskin?
yeah.
I'm not sure if Robin owns that part of the lot. She owns,
I know that the lot is, the area, the open lot, and there are definitely 2 owners.
yeah,
Mhm.
So it's probably whoever owns that, the other building. Has got part of that lot as well.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And possibly Julie from the Ram.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that
That
might
would be
be
directly across the street
the lot right across from you. She does
in
own
the
that,
front.
yeah, so.
She owns that lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
so antiques there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that would be
Because
really
then you'd be
convenient.
directly across.
It's right
from-
there. It's easy
Yeah.
to find. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because it's already tight. I know a lot that's between the building on the corner, 600 road.
Yeah, that lot.
lot's tight. It's built up.
So it has to be behind the street, like on 7th or across the street.
Well, and then also you can see your car, sometimes when you have time, you can see your car.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that sounds good, give me, make a note about parking will have to be.
That's not really our issue.
Yeah.
I think I have to think about it for the.
Probably you should.
Yeah,
And that's probably your.
Parking's not our issue.
Oh,
No.
yeah, okay. So
That's
since there are no
the only thing I see.
exterior changes to the building, DRC finds the building returning to original use to be appropriate.
Mhm.
So good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I need a motion.
I'll move the.
Yeah.
okay.
You can leave, we'll change everything.
Okay, Bob said-
Second. I
All
beat
in
you.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, this must be you then.
I hope so.
That would be just. Okay, special use recommendation for planning commission. Town of Georgetown Road and Bridge Department.
Yes.
Okay, do you want to sit in the chair or do you want to stay with them? You can, you can, well, that was more comfortable.
Rest of the spirit.
I know, I've been that person.
It works.
Okay, so, would you state your name and the address of the project here?
Okay, I'm Graham Russell. I own the property adjoining the proposed road and bridge site. And I'm here to express my opposition to the project.
We have nobody from Road and Bridge here.
What's that?
We have nobody from Road Bridge, Rick's not here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so.
Is your
um,
property on Argentine, just so, do you have a address?
It's right where Argentine, at least according to the one map, becomes Alvarado Road.
Okay,
Can you give me an idea where that is, like down past the?
Yeah, as you pass the treatment plant, turn to your right, going toward the bridge, and on the left.
This map here shows it.
so, never, so like the west side?
Okay, so.
So this is.
And then already in shredded.
Oh, okay. And so the property we're talking about is the blue.
This.
It's west of
Should
Argentina.
I contest it?
So what, I guess what Road and Bridge wants to do is make this into a storage.
Yeah.
Ah,
Which means in fire. Those road fire balls.
are they taking trees down to do that? Or?
They proposed,
I haven't
I
heard of
don't
it.
know where to begin on this, but, yeah, their current proposal.
This is where the,
Involves taking down all the trees and.
all that is the clear.
Communication on
Mm.
wetland
They
area.
have to do certain
So they're basically gonna have to clear it.
to retain the buildings.
Where's, you're on, is it?
Yeah, there's notices there about what they have to do to change the
So it's
road.
adjacent.
Is it visible from the center?
Yeah, it looks like.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
That's right under the road right up here, and then almost. Here, I have a pond.
I haven't looked at this one at all.
Coming on down, so I have probably have a channel and my water right coming through here. Plus the road. I've been using the road my family's been using the road for over 70 years to access the lower part of the property there.
So you would lose access to your back here as well.
That's my concern, yes, and
Are you losing access?
well, according to there are questions there. Rick has told me at a private meeting, an on-site meeting, that he wouldn't contest my access, and we've had some tough discussion about that, but now my access is being contested, and anyway, we're apparently
So is that the access?
likely to be contested.
Is that the? This is still access road?
Yes, that's the property just about half here.
Right through where they're planning on storing all that material.
So your access goes through their property then?
Yes, and as I said, we've been
Do you have
using,
a zoning or a easement or anything?
I have not found any, I have to go back through the deeds and see if there's any legal,
If you have a legal part of that, then it's an easy argument. on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I have some arguments, which is,
How long have you had that access?
well, my family's had it for over 70 years, and I personally controlled.
You've got a
access.
good argument there.
I've personally controlled access on that road for 50 years.
Okay,
Since
that's
I
a
lived there
very
in
good
settlements.
argument.
And I'm not only the person who controlled access, I've personally been the only person who has maintained the road and prevented it from becoming a washed out gully. And I have also, over the years, me and people I've hired have worked on controlling invasive weeds on this particular parcel and on the adjoining embankment for the highway.
You just don't have ownership of that little triangle.
I don't have ownership of that triangle, and I should, because when the BLM was trying to dispose of these parcels back in the 1980s, known as mineral fragments, because they're surrounded by patented mineral claims, and they're basically, you probably know they're scattered all over, there are tens of thousands of them, and agencies like the Forest Service and the BLM can't manage those, so they started in the 1980s trying to dispose of them, mostly to adjoining landowners where possible. Being the adjoining landowner, I applied for a parcel, as did the town. I think, the town looked at it on the map and said, oh, that would be a nice one. You know, whereas, you know, I told you my history with it.
Right.
So BLM approved selling the parcel to me over the town's request. Specifically because it would resolve the access issue. And so BLM, their budgets were cut. I actually went to work with the BLM after having applied for this and got it. I went to work with them as a surveyor. And anyway, their budgets were cut and they were trying to manage all this and eventually handed it off to the county. And I'm sure there were a lot of, I don't have the paperwork on what the county agreed to do, follow through on these things, but I'm pretty sure there must have been some agreement that the county said they were going to follow through on the BLM's decisions. So 1993, the Pure Creek County Land Transfer Act occurred. I didn't hear about it until some years later. I don't know why I was never notified. I was certainly not a part of that. And in fact, I heard about it from a colleague who worked in the realty division. I was telling her about how I was going to buy this piece sometime, you know. And she told me about that. Oh my God, you know. So don't know how that happened.
Right.
Because I had, you know, I think I was diligent every time that I should have responded. I did respond, expressed my interest in that. I made phone calls and visits to BLM offices at first, and then to the Pure Creek County office. And then I even talked to Tom Hale about it shortly before he passed. And, you know, in all cases, except for Tom Hale, I was basically told, you know, we're working on it, we're patient, we'll let you know when this happens. And then in the town annexation, the town annexed that along with some other land, adjoining land in 2015, I think. I was never notified of that either. I think as an adjoiner, I probably should have been. So those are my grievances.
And so I see that the town plans to move the road basically to the east so that it's along the border edge of the triangle there.
Yeah, I wish Rick was here because as I mentioned, we had that on-site meeting and we had a handshake agreement on several items that we talked about, which I summarized in a letter that I emailed to him. And part of the reason for my tardiness this evening is I was trying to make a copy of that letter in my computer and printer refused to talk to each other.
Oh, that's,
So
that's like you.
I remember seeing something.
I don't like it.
I sketched some notes of the letter because I was able to pull it up on my computer so I could share main points. And that's why I wish Rick was here, because I think that the things that we agreed on at that meeting made sense in the context of the way the land lays and the things that we were looking at. So if you don't mind, I'll just run through this list briefly, get it in the record. Okay, so the town wants to stockpile millings and other materials on the site. And then I told Rick about not only about my historic access, but about my water right on that lot. And I showed him where the property line is because being a surveyor, I staked it long ago. And Rick told me that the town would only use the upper portion of the site, the portion west of the road. Because that was the part responsible to grade level. And that made sense. If you're going to do this thing, at least keep it up out of the riparian area on the west side of the road. Question.
So this,
Something that's what.
this part of the triangle.
Is this magic marker now, that reflect what you understand that there's.
What I understood was kind of the started road, not on this.
That'd be the west side next between the existing road and seven.
But would that be when they move
So-
The road, the access road.
What's that?
I just saw in here somewhere that they were saying they're gonna move the access road over to
Yes,
the side.
yes, they have,
So
I
that
have
means,
a drawing of that proposal, and I just received that a few
Yeah,
days ago when I visited.
yeah, so does that mean if they're only gonna be on the west side of the road?
Well,
it's the
that
whole
makes
time?
So, this has to go before the.
Yeah, we make a recommendation that.
So obviously, somewhere along the line, since we met on site, Rick has figured out that there's not enough room over here and
Right.
they need to use this too. So. And assured me that town would observe environmental procedures. And gave me a note from the environmentalist who told him what we have to do, and it sounds expensive and
Yeah,
complicated, and especially when you're building it right on top of a wetland,
Environmental, so you just mean they control runoff is all that means?
pretty much, yeah.
That's all that means.
I'm wondering if they have to put a land, because it's so.
It's dangerous.
That doesn't make it look good, it just controls the runoff.
yeah.
That's what that means.
Basically, contain runoff.
I mean, an impermeable barrier, such as Jersey barrier wrapped in plastic.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Actually,
Yeah.
And an
That's
earthen
what
door.
I'm talking about. Feet is into the ground.
Yeah, underneath,
Underground.
it's been.
And we're all sure they have to do that, that's for sure. But so they'll have to get it approved by the EPA.
But that means it's all over.
Yeah, it's dollars, it's big.
It's dollars and it's not pretty.
So if
So-
I'm sorry, if the town is, the town is gonna move this road, fixate it on the road now, I guess. To the far east border of this triangle. Then is the town gonna maintain that road? And, if they're claiming the land.
It's
and
their
using
land,
it,
so if they're gonna move the road, I presume that they plan to maintain it, but.
Well, if they're gonna use it, I would assume that they would have to be.
I don't think that would have to be part of the deal. They're gonna maintain the road if they're gonna move it.
But as I said, to move it, I'd like to show you the property they're talking about moving it on to. If anybody's
Okay.
interested, I'd be more than happy to, you can just walk down there and walk down the road yourself. And see what it is.
Yeah, that's the house in somebody lives at. And yeah, I think that's a house too. Yeah, we go along the highway, you can see the view of the houses from the highway.
From the DRC perspective, what are we looking at?
So we're looking for findings and recommendations regarding conformity and compatibility. Make sure. I'm on
I mean,
here.
there's no structure.
With the applicable design guidelines, so as far as design review, we don't really have anything for that, except I think the visibility of something.
Well, I think, maybe the visibility from the highway, piles of dirt, the black, that would be the thing, is it'll be right on the edge of the highway.
Yeah,
And we're trying to down.
Yeah, they're basically going to the tree line, so
Yeah.
the trees that are there now will be gone.
Yeah.
It's kind of down from the highway actually, so you may not notice it from the highway, and that's part of. Town's argument, I would say, is that maybe it will be less visible than it is in its present location. My argument would be that if they stack it up neatly at the present location, instead of having it spread out the way it is, you only lose a few parking places, and you won't have to haul it down the road truckload by truckload and build this big barrier and here's a wetland.
And this may be more visible because you'll see it directly going down how far they're.
You'll definitely see it.
This may be actually more visible.
That's it.
Well, they're going straight.
I'll say they could probably hide it pretty well down there, but. But all of a sudden things.
That would be about the only basis that you would have for a comment, I would think, would be visibility.
Yeah,
Can't comment about the trees being cut.
yeah, and visibility.
Yeah, I mean, how it affects the,
I don't like cutting the trees down just for storage of asphalt, basically.
This
I mean,
is-
Looking at others, I don't think this is a particularly good place, just because of where it is. I mean, it's
Proximity to
wetland.
the water, yeah,
Well, it's basically a residential area.
yeah. And it's actually in the Parks and Open Space District.
That was part of my argument, it's really not appropriate, I looked
Yeah,
through
this
the
is
parks and
Parks
open
District.
space.
Parks and Open Space.
Look through, you know, what's permitted with parks and open space, and I don't see anything there that. Where he's got something underlying, just line it.
Turns it into an industrial site.
This is Parks and Open Space, I definitely don't think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
other side of the road is a little more appropriate.
Yeah, if it's by the sewer plant.
yeah,
Yeah, I
that's what
doubt
I
how
don't
much
know.
land the
Yeah.
town has there, that was my first thought, is why not put it there,
Yeah.
Yes.
there's already all kinds of crap back there anyway.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Yes.
Yes.
Get pretty close to water
Yeah. Well, but statistically, when the river runs through it like that, it's close where either place, you know, this is close to the water, I think. But what kind of? Where's water?
Like over here.
There's a highway code
Yeah,
coming
like
right
over
over
on the
there.
other side, yeah.
So this whole area is a wetland.
Okay.
You know, when Ron was saying, I thought he was talking
Yeah,
about.
like too, that's our shot.
Put it over there.
I didn't know it was here.
I mean, we already have industrial stuff. Okay,
Well, this is
Maybe
Parks
they can't
District.
get up the hill with the load.
That's possible. That's-
Well, they got some millings there and make it less.
Like the way you think.
well, and. Yeah, okay, so,
It's not even, and this would be problem where they put the buildings.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Parks District, I would say, I don't recommend putting this in Parks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna say the DRC finds the location. Going. For several reasons. Yes. The.
Looking at our, it's in I'm not sure what district it is, it's probably not even in any.
or even the
It's not,
district.
well, it's in the Parks and Open Space District, so around us, we have open space and BLM and wildlife and that kind of stuff, areas. I don't have a map for that, but it's in,
That's all we need to put it.
it's parks,
Yeah.
it's in the Parks
So
and
this
Open
would be
Space.
inappropriate.
Yeah, that would be.
Definitely.
And it would be highly visible going down Archie Line.
Yeah, it looks like they're clearing the whole lot. All the trees.
Okay, location of industrial, oh, clearing the trees.
Clearing the trees is not a good idea for this.
Well, it opens up that whole end of the lot to be highly exposed.
If I'm looking at this picture, how many of these trees would be gone? Because here's Alvarado right there, 70.
Well. It would be. You see where this culvert comes down, I think that's about where they're talking about ending the excavation, so it would be. Trees up above there and along in here.
So quite a few trees would be gone then.
Quite a few, yeah.
Okay.
Mostly aspen and cottonwood, some conifers.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
a good.
kind of like that first one.
So it'd be this,
Yeah, right there.
So,
would be from basically there to there, there's trees that you see, so here's Alvarado, here's 70.
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, you guys want to hear this?
Yeah.
And you can add, tell me if you have another thought. DRC finds the location troubling for several reasons. One, location of industrial materials in the Parks and Open Space District. Two, clearing trees and wetland area. And three, visibility from I-70 surrounding homes in Argentine. Anything else?
storing, potentially hazardous material in the woodland area.
Yeah, I mean, we could say that, and it's not really in our purview, but.
I still think that, that's what.
Impact on, yeah.
On wetlands, which you already mentioned.
Yeah, that's where
That's what I thought they were doing.
yeah. That's what I thought would be the spot for it. And it's hidden from it with all the trees. So it's already cleared.
And I don't know if this is something you can put there, but interfering with private owners' access might be one.
Can we get in?
Yeah, historic,
Can we get
it's
into
like
that?
historic access or something on that
I
line.
don't think
That
that
would
we
be,
really like it.
be zoning.
Okay.
I mean, I think you've got a great argument with
How about
the fact that
questions?
you own, you know, that you have used access for 50, 70 years, I mean, that.
Well, the town lawyer apparently said that didn't matter, which
I think that should matter.
depends on whose side you're on.
Yeah,
How about-
it should matter.
I think you have a good argument.
Uh-huh.
Okay, how about this? Concern over, private use of surrounding,
Adjacent property,
oh, yeah, okay.
What was that?
private
Concern.
use of adjacent property.
Well,
Concern.
it's an adverse effect to the adjacent property.
Yeah,
Concern about
yeah,
adverse
that's better.
effects to
Yeah, that's
adjacent
good.
property.
That's good.
You can say due to access and due to access. Ancient.
Concern about adverse effects on adjacent property and access.
Due to access, or due to access and change of use.
Put a period in there. You're running on.
You're the English major?
I'm, yeah, I'm the recording person, so. Here it is.
So that due to access
And
and
change of use.
change of use. I'm still adjacent. Okay, all right. I'm happy with that. Anybody want to add anything else?
I'm happier than I expected to be.
I think the parks part is the biggest second on our part.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, Bob gave us a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay,
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in and
yes.
pointing that out.
Yeah.
Shake your hands and know your names.
I didn't know anything
I'm
about it.
Susan Edge.
Susan
Nice
Edge.
to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Sean Platt.
Sean.
Sean Platt.
Sean Platt.
Nice to meet you.
Great answer. Brent.
Brent.
Uh-huh. Good to meet you. Sure.
Still meeting.
Joe. Good to meet you.
You too.
Yeah, Bob Hamilton.
Paul Hamilton.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
My pleasure.
Okay, well, thanks for coming in. Sorry. you had to-
Well, it's feeling bad about being so late because I'm
Well.
planning on being here early. Yeah.
That's okay, I think you forgot to be tonight, so.
Yeah, he can.
You know, this is just our recommendation, though. The city manager still need to make a plan. Yeah, yes, but, yeah, possibly, yeah, you know, what you
Big, you know.
And I'm going to just a short.
Yeah, if you look under the sign, that we're always.
Uh-huh.
And if you look,
Bob
you
would be
probably
right there.
go 3 or 4 weeks from now, the minutes from the meeting will be posted.
Okay.
Well, thank you all very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
It's a nice.
Okay, so Bob, we got a little review on Strauss Park for us.
Yeah,
This is before I go, if you have any questions, I could answer.
no, I think you.
I think you did a nice job.
Yeah.
You gave us a good understanding of what the issues are.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make a point to come to all different commission boards like the meetings, you know.
I saw that.
And update people on Strauss Park. We have submitted the grant application for funding that went in at the end of May, and we're supposed to hear back one way or the other by the end of June. The budget that we went in with is like $401,800, something like that, so just over 400,000. I've gotten back bids to confirm pricing for everything except the concrete work. So I've gone out to some additional possibilities for concrete work. One is later this afternoon. The numbers coming back are higher than the, you know, we just go straight with what we come up with. We're well over the 400,000. Close to the bottom. So we've looked at de-scoping for this year, the plantings, which we had in there. We had added in the budgeting process to replace the flagstone on Fifth or Rose Street across from that stretch from kind of the corner there where the concrete starts, because it's all broken up and, you know, going in and out of the park, it's going to get even, you know, screwed up even more. So I got a price for that, and you know, we'll see where all the numbers come out. But right now, the plan is we'll put that off till next year. We could use. We're buying all new flagstone for the park. Now we've got flagstone up at the Centennial Mill. You know, we'll be pulling the rest of it out of the park. So we'll be able to put that sidewalk back in play, but maybe not as nice as we'd like it. But eventually, we'll get the good, you know, rectangular, full size, 5 foot wide pieces, you know, 3 inch thick. The final paving on, you know, the gravel pave for the parking lot, I had not gotten a price for that by the end of May. Just the material was about 20,000.
Is that expensive?
4,500 square feet, so it's not too bad. So that won't be till next year. Let's see what else. Planting, got to deal with the town. We're gonna go ahead and grow our own boulders. Basically, I haven't talked to Road and Bridge yet, but Rick told me I could talk to the town and see if we scrounge up some boulders. That'll save us about 10 grand.
Yeah,
They can
I think there's a few around here.
Yeah, we got a pretty good rock garden around here.
Do you see some of those?
If you're in good with Ken Starrett, I know one of his properties is covered in boulders.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna talk to him for some other stuff too, but
think there's some up there from your house.
they're not, but they're not, well, they're buried because they're boulders in concrete.
Oh.
We couldn't recycle them because they're boulders in concrete. We'll take them. So they're very.
I'll put that off, and I don't have any problem with that, you can't do everything at once, but is the issue the actual plants or,
Yeah, it's about $15,000 for the planting materials installed.
but we already have a place to put them and everything, so it's not.
Yeah,
really-
we'll have the planters, it's,
Oh.
yeah,
So what about if we try to get people to donate
well, we could,
for that?
and I mean, that's something we'll look at, you know, further down the road. We won't be ready to do plantings until the fall, at the earliest anyway, so.
So,
And it's mainly shrubs, there's not a whole lot of flowers in that.
yeah,
I think it's mainly shrubs, which they could go in this fall, they're probably better off to go in.
Shrubs are good for the fall.
Yeah. I've got another one, I just recently gotten a quote from a local contractor. To do the masonry work, which is the, you know, veneer stone and all that kind of stuff, and that's about half of what it would come, what we've been quoted by a professional big company that does that stuff. So we're probably gonna go that route. That's kind of where we are. The town will help where they can. We'll use this, you know, like we did last year, local support. And I got a quote with Banky for all the dirt work and. I'm shocked at how high it is, but stuff has gone up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really, just from last year, looking, I'm thinking that, you know, what I budgeted for concrete is not gonna be enough. I'm sure it's gonna be a lot more than this next year, and I tried to inflate it some, but it's. I mean, I'm seeing everything is way up.
How much concrete is there? I know the concession area there was concrete.
Oh, it's you sidewalk, curb, gutters,
Gotcha.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff. We decided we're gonna go, and I think the right way, we're gonna put the concrete edging around the, you know, the. Where they have steel edging, we're gonna put concrete edging in.
Okay, yeah, there's quite a bit of formwork then.
Around it, everything.
Well, it's not so much for it, but it's basically, you know, they put it in the ground and. They run a special trolley line, that type of thing. But, and that's kind of where we are, we can make do with the 400, we'll get that. If we don't get the grant, then, you know, all bets are off, we'll plan to do something else.
Put jars in all the stores around town.
Yeah.
We'll have a bake sale.
I think we'll put a big gate across the front of the town with a toll booth. But, that's kind of where we are, I'm, going to go to the Board of Selectmen meeting next week. And ask them for conditional approval to get started, pending. You know, the grant money, because I'd like to get something done in June. I'd like to get the dry wells put in, I'd like to get the water run into the booth. I'd like to get the concrete floor for the concession area poured. And then, you know, we got most of the underground stuff done.
Okay.
I got the electrical quotes and all that, I'm ready to go. We'll be, there's 4 to 6 weeks on a lot of the more lead time related materials. So we need to get orders placed, and we have $150,000 of town money. That the way I read the grant information is that our match is minimum 25%, or excuse me, minimum 10%, which is 25,000. So it gives us, you know, $125,000 to play with to get started. So I'm hoping that they'll buy that and whether it gets started.
Do you have to put a sink in that concession area?
No, we don't have to, but we're planning to do that.
Oh, okay.
We need to do something with water for irrigation for all the plants and all that, because the main trunk lines all go in. And since we're talking about putting it, we're gonna run the hydrant that's in the park now, the little pump Campbell thing. We're literally gonna move that over to the inside corner of the, you know, the 12th booth or whatever it is over there. And bring it up and just, you know, leave it as an outdoor faucet. We can shut it off and then it'll all automatically drain back into the ground. But we'll be able to put a permanent water meter inside. We'll be able to put the pressure reducing valve in the backflow and all. Put all the big plumbing stuff inside the building, so it's, you know, it's not buried underground. And you will heat that in like a utility room in there. So we can put in a hot water heater and run it, and we're gonna put a sewer line in the corner.
Yeah.
So we'll be all set up for that. But that should be. Get that one, get the gas line buried, or at least see where it goes through. Country roads and so forth, but I'm trying to get it. You know, we're running out of time this month, it won't happen, Probably won't really start doing anything until after. It does happen. Next week, and then we got the slacker coming out, but they want that available, so. But, you know, we're probably gonna wind up starting in July.
There's nothing that really goes on between July 4th and.
Yeah, well, there's.
Well, there's things at the library, but not
Yeah,
too many.
we can work around some of that.
Hey, do you know, is the parade on the 4th, is it on Tuesday or is it on Sunday?
I don't know.
Anybody know?
I'm assuming it's on before.
I'm
I
assuming.
think
Because
it's
that's
every
what they
four, because it's a permanent sign.
Oh,
Because they have a permanent sign, so I think it's on the 4th.
Okay, I just wondered, well, you know how some places.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sounds good.
The other item I added to the list was the, it's not on here, what is it? Oh, yeah, DRC 1036 Rose Street. That's Lindsay, somebody's house that we approved.
Rich House on
1036, what's
Yeah.
the address, I'm sorry?
1036.
Road?
yes,
Yeah, that's the old
it's across.
That's the old depot.
luggage building, it was a luggage building.
You know, they've got a, if they moved in or they're moving in. They've got an occupancy permit, from what I've heard, Scuttlebutt has heard.
Yeah.
I haven't compared, you know, what did they build versus what they said they were going to build. But just driving by, particularly at night, I know their lights are not toxic at all. So I'm thinking that we probably should write them a letter or have Rick write them a letter or something.
Yeah.
We probably should conduct a review, and I'd be happy to do that over the next week or so. I'll just take a few pictures.
Cindy keeps mentioning the garage door and I don't recall what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I'll have to look and see. The other thing I noticed driving down is the vent pipe from the furnace, I assume. You know, it kind of comes out of the house, goes this way, up that way. I mean, it's god awful. Pretty good. Painting it would help, because it's white. But I think that we need to, and we have the authority, even after they get occupancy, to go back and say, hey, you didn't do this,
Yeah,
and we can, so.
I know, I think after that took so long to get done, and I think probably they went through the filters or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I don't think
We just need to
you
remind them.
really got anything for that.
yeah, good idea.
Practice.
So the traffic graphics, I don't know anything about any of the groups not here, so.
So I have that I'm gonna add 704 4th Street, and that's the small farm. And 404 Tao Street, which is
A shed.
a shed. Everything else stays?
I would assume since.
When I was on the list, I wasn't here last week.
Well, of course, it doesn't mean you have to adjust everything every week.
Yeah, we can take the Graham update off.
Take the rag.
They've got that resolved, going back to work on that.
Good,
Okay, cool.
the EV station update.
What did,
Supposedly they are working,
They will
sent us
fix
things about the fence and they were gonna do it, but it's not done yet, so. And I was gonna call Rick, is he here? I mean, he's not here now,
Not here.
he's not out of town or anything,
No, you should know.
okay. Do you wanna walk up to the poll house tomorrow, or go up to the poll house?
Yeah.
Maybe at lunchtime or something?
what's the question there?
It belongs to the state
Uh-huh.
preservation, and it's in bad shape, and it's a brick house, so
Uh-huh.
They got the money.
yeah, they need to maintain it.
Just take some pictures.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay, I'll check with Rick and then I'll give you a call.
Do you wanna call, Mark Grable? Might have keys in there, you know, if we wanna go in.
Do you think he has keys?
Somebody's got a key.
Well, yeah.
It's on railroad property.
Yeah.
I think he's got a key.
It's railroad and state.
Yeah.
Combined, so.
Where is the full house? Where is that?
If you go into the big parking lot, you know, at the railroad, and you know, when the bridge goes across, you can walk under it.
Yep.
Okay, then you just keep walking, and you kind of come up around the hill like this, and then you get off of that path.
The bike
And
path.
it's down in a little, it's not very far off the road at all.
Not
It sits down below the highway. And it's a pretty little, it's not now, but I mean, it was a really sweet little house.
So is it behind the train station?
Oh, yeah.
No, like, you're gonna take the bike path to Silver Plum.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
just
you
walk, park at the end of the parking lot and walk 50 feet.
Oh,
It's right there. Maybe go further. But it should be offices or something. It should be used.
well, it should be saved at least, and you know, the times I've been up there, it was obvious somebody was kind of.
There's
So that people camp around there, and Lee Barron's used to have office space and
There's a boat there, and a camper there.
stuff that, like, with every stuff.
Uh-huh. I just went up there the other day.
There's a boat and a camper.
Uh-huh.
The railroad people keep their stuff around.
Well, I know they got that whole pile of stuff up there right now.
You see, there's the camper.
Oh, geez.
Let me see, do I have the boat here?
We should call,
I don't
if you
think I
want,
would do that.
I'll call Mark and tell him.
Okay, all right.
I feel like we
There's a
should give him
boat
a
right
warning.
here. You see that, take a picture of the boat? See, because there's a railroad bridge, there's a little bike path that goes around, you have to go off
Just go down into
to the house there.
Okay,
Yeah.
There's this big hill right here that you can see the whole town from. But it blocks the view of the
yeah,
house.
there's the house.
If you're looking off of there, you can see the chimneys as you're going down I-70, but that's about it.
Huh,
But most people are looking for.
it's a cute little house though.
Uh-huh.
It is a cute little house.
Mhm.
That should be something.
You see the old picture of it, there's. The old picture of it.
Oh, wow.
Cause the road went right up
There's a-
there.
yeah, there's the old road before
Yeah,
70 was
they were
there.
on the road. Okay, guys, so.
If y'all get a key out there.
Okay. Do you wanna see if Mark has it? And
Yeah, sure.
Even if,
I love
If
it.
not, we can still walk. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I can provide an update on Excel, which is not much, at the meeting that they had back on May 24th or whatever it was. They said that they would be setting up a website. That you could, find information at. Well, I got an email forwarded to me by Rick. That had a link into a website where they posted basically the slideshow that they used at the meeting. And then the questions, no answers, just some of the questions that were asked at the meeting. So I can forward that to all of you if you're interested.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
So with Excel, that means they're just gonna get feedback and not change anything that they're doing.
Yeah,
yeah, just,
That's what that means.
yeah, just give us your 2 cents and thanks so much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So really, needs more action than that.
Okay, did anybody get a chance to look at the minutes?
yeah, I didn't see anything that jumped out at me.
I don't either.
Okay, the only thing in it, that we don't have to change this, it's the way I'm looking at it, on Joyce Smith, the first thing under old new business. She was technically asking for a renewal of her application, of her certificate. Do we need to specify that? I mean,
Yeah, why don't we just say renew?
so we approved to renew or voted to
Yeah, renew the
renew.
application,
To renew the application since,
or renew the COA.
yeah. Sorry.
Good.
Okay, and then, yeah, so that's the only thing I saw.
Move we approve the May 25th minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against. Okay. And what's adjourned?
There's about it.
Oh, nice. Well, it is cleaned up a lot. I mean, it's really weedy and stuck around there the
Yeah.
last time I was at.
Been up for years, but last time I was there was just piles of storage stuff on the train. All kinds of materials.
Oh, you're talking about that area.
Yeah,
Okay, that area is still like that.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
This is past that.
okay.
That's, yeah.